Hi there, this is Steve with Smitty's Fly Box. We're going to tie this Bullethead Goldenstone, just a fly. I had it in my box, bought it at a fly shop, I believe, and it's been a good little fly, so I thought it'd be great for the intermediate tying box. Work with a little bit of foam, plus it's a good little hopper pattern as well. So what I did is I just cut a piece of foam about the width of the hook gap, which is the space between the point and the shank, and about as long, 1.5 lengths. So before I start tying that foam in, I'm just going to lay down a nice little layer of thread. So I just started at the top, and I'm just going to lay down this thread all the way back to our tie-in point directly above the barb of the hook, which is basically where that foam is right there. And let's turn right around and come forward just slightly, just above the point of the hook, and that's where we're going to tie in this first segmentation. So to do this, I'm just going to prop it up there, prop the foam up in place, and then just lightly just pinch it right there. And then I can come around loosely and gather that foam, and then make a little bit of add a little thread tension there. And as I make that groove, I can cinch down a little bit and secure that foam right there underneath the hook. Now let's advance our thread up a ways. So we're going to make another segment. So let's just cross it over like that. Come out in front, and we'll advance it to just about halfway up the hook shank, about right there. And let's put our second segment in there. Like that. So we've got that foam started. There's the underbody, a nice segmented look like that. And now what I like to do is just add a little bit of glue on there just to keep things in place. So I'm just going to add a little drop of glue right there. Try not to gob that up because I'm going to have to tie some elk hair and stuff in there. So, alright, now we're ready for our first section of elk. Now one thing that you could do, that I like to do, is just shape the back here and just almost bring it to a little bit of a point like that, and makes it look a little more natural. Okay, so for the wing, now we're just using elk hair. I've sent some cow elk from Nature Spirit, really good stuff, and I've just stacked up a little more than what I would use for, say, like an elk hair caddis, like that, and I want that to extend just past the back of the hook there. So let's just come around loose, gather that, and we'll add a little tension. About 3 or 4 times, add some good tension there. And now we can trim off this excess. Okay, so there's the first wing right there. Now we're going to add a set of legs. So I just got some of this flex floss. I barred this beforehand with just a magic marker, just because I like that little barred look. So let's just hold that in place in that same groove, and we'll do one set of legs right here on this side. We'll add another set on the other side. Right there. And now what I'm going to do to just kind of cover up or clean up some of that is we're going to put a little bit of dubbing. So we got some Goldenstone dubbing, just to build a little color in there. Let's add a little bit more here. And I'm just basically running that dubbing into this groove that I've created by tying in the elk hair and the legs, like that. Alright, now we're ready to cross over to the next segment, so let's pull everything back. Again, cross it up over, bring it forward, and I'm going to go about 3/4 up the hook shank, and that's where I'm going to do my next segmentation, about right there. Just like that. And now let's repeat that step. Now I've got these legs in my way there. One little trick you can do, and I like to do this, is I just have some lead wire that I use sitting here at the desk, and I just can just wrap that up just to keep everything out of the way while I can work up there. And let's repeat those steps with another section of elk. And this one I'm going to just bring it so it layers almost just on top of the previous section there. So we'll come around again loose, add a little tension, add a little more tension. Right there. And now we can trim off the butts here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just repeat those steps there. I've got the legs again on the front, so we'll just put a set right there, position those in place, and on the opposite side again, position those. And what I'm going to do is add another clump of dubbing there just to clean up that underbody, add a little coloration, a little natural bugginess to it. So again, we'll come in there between those like so. So what I'm going to do is just take my scissors and just poke a little hole right there where the eye of the hook is. Very, very subtle right there. Then I can poke the eye back up through there like that. And then I can fold that over and create that little bullet head look. Make sure those legs are in good spots there, and we'll come around kind of loose, and once right there I can gather those and just make a nice tight head on that like that. And now we'll just whip finish right up above all of that. And then we'll add a little head cement or super glue up there. Clip off this top right there. We can pull this lead wire off, expose those, and trim up the legs as needed. And clean up anything right there. Okay. And what we've got is just a nice little stonefly. That thing is a nice floater and just has a good profile underneath to catch fish. So I hope you enjoy.